Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. The beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
They'll go on the ground, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now a handoff looking right. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Now Brady. Jones breaking from the contact. And that is caught. What a catch inside the 5.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3 and not giving up 6.
Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And his kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board, and a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, it's Brady fighting him off. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone.
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones from 8 yards out, and the Falcons will extend their lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point attempt to come here. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows to 10-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And some space here. Look at the big man rumble. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there. 75 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance that was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
Oh, the big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And that one results in 35 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a change-up in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the change-up, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
1 quarter gone in this NFC divisional round matchup. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Let's go!
Brady to throw again. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They go play action with Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then?
Now the ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Jones has it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I picked it right there. He knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2 touchdowns for him already in this 1st half. This one good for a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Brady going to throw. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by at Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. On first down, Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a loose football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So that drive, 4 plays, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the 2nd of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints doing battle with the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance, second half. Action back underway. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Play action. Now it's Brady. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
Brady to throw on second down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Brady now on first down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. Looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. On third and long, it's Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And on the ground they go with a running back. A gain of 3, second down. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there, 49 yards. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriot offense back onto the field. He was good in the first half. He's been good still here so far in the third quarter, Charles.
It almost feels like when you're watching, all those drills that you know that they go through, all that extra practice, it's all coming together in this one, hasn't it? Everything's been sharp, everything's been accurate, and the yards continue to pile up. as do the rest of the stats.
Yeah, the yards. He's got the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions so far. A good pickup there, a 22.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they're
on. Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And now the spin. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brady. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And time now for the Seahawk defense to take their spots again on the field. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Fighting through pressure, and he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
To throw, it's Brady. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up.
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. 5 plays there on that drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Wilson to throw on 2nd down.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing 4th quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception. Very
much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got Lockett. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now it's Wilson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good call. And they'll run it here. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Brady going to look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
And Jones has it over the middle. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Wilson to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Hey. You got Mike 20. Mike 20. I got number 23. I got you, 23.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the NFC Championship game on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we're about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix in Glendale, Arizona. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports, and man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career. But that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
Now a handoff looking right. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open, and then will help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that a defense gets excited about.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. Now they'll throw with Brady. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now third down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On play action, it's Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Green 39. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now they try the right side here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Jones breaking from the contact. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down.
White 20.
On play action, now Brady. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Now a handoff looking right. Fighting through. He's still fighting forward. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Now a play fake. Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, These are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case,
under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. One quarter down, 3 to go on the road to the Super Bowl. 0-0 our score. Back to Glendale after this timeout. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. He was looking for Matthews that time.
well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So after the INT, it's Brady. He got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Nine yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Wait, 20.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete. Now they're staring at a 4th down as Arizona's defense does its job.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught find the 1st down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the 1st down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the 1st down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right
Here we
here.
go now. Green, 19.
A play action fake. They'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your...
And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure that...
He's got a man complete. He got 29 yards that time.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come out